Do not redeem it. That's what losers like Ian Miles Chong, An American Voice, and Native American Soul, none of which have ever even stepped foot on American soil, went running to the mainstream media yesterday to try and get stupid Americans to continue retweeting their tweets and lining their pockets when their only job is dividing America from afar. Their pathetic justification is as laughable as this article, and we're all going to share in their sadness because, quite frankly, X monetization, Twitter monetization, is simply welfare for third world countries. Everybody in America that's paying for that stupid blue check mark, 2/3 of that money likely is just going to people like Ian Miles Chong and other bot farms and Pakistanis and Indians who pretend to be American and just want to divide us and make us hate each other. The hate is what makes them their money. I think only, those countries should be barred completely from X monetization, but they're trying to get around it. Once we all figured out how they were getting around it, now they've run to mainstream media. Let's get into that after a super quick word from this video sponsor, ironically, Private Internet Access. Shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, if you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out, and Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for, and ensure that your internet is... Now, this is one of my favorite memes. Let me tell you about your country. Ian Miles Chong's perhaps the most prolific pretend American in X history. He became ingratiated with Elon Musk, who would constantly retweet this loser, who was tweeting about American politics 24/7 from, you guessed it, Malaysia. Okay, now he took all that sweet American X monetization money, and where did he move? The United Arab Emirates. Not to America. Not to America that he pretends to care so much about. But look at these comments. George G. Prime says, they're content thieves too, which they all are. Way too generous of a photo for Ian. Let's see, you forgot the one that Musk reposts all the time on Twitter, which is this bullish on America and Doge designer. You have another Chungus meme here. Check that guy's country of origin. It would be like De Niro being patriotic towards Pakistan and Nigeria and tweeting about their politics. This article is so hilarious. You got to hear some of their excuses. They're begging Americans to keep letting them basically abuse them. Influencer X accounts desperately try to defend their U.S. patriotism despite having never set foot in the country. They don't have patriotism. They pretend to be American for clout and for now money. And it'd be one thing if these accounts were bringing us together, but they are exclusively about dividing us. In fact, many of these people own accounts that pretend to be on both sides of the aisle, and they just do it anyway. They don't care about Americans or politics. They don't care about, causing troubles with Americans. They care about their X monetization check, and this article is hilarious. Last week, social media platform X revealed the nation of origins of all its user accounts, divulging many top political voices on hot-button U.S. issues are actually keyboard warriors based in Africa and Asia. Not for many, such as fake Native American grievance accounts run from Bangladesh and Nigerians posting as Trump-loving Midwestern moms. Their motivation is simple: trying to make money, usually from selling t-shirts. For others, it's more complicated, such as Ian Miles Chungus, a Malaysian-born, Dubai-based writer, an ex-celebrity with 1.2 million followers. Is he an ex-celebrity? His account doesn't even load. I blocked him a long time ago. Oh, he's got me blocked. Oh, Chungus. No, Chungus. Let's see. Oh, is he still reply guying? I notice he doesn't really tweet anything. He's just replying in all these threads. He doesn't put anything, because every tweet he puts out, people remind him that he's a Chungus from Malaysia. But he ran to the New York Post, who's now giving him a platform. He built his brand on social criticism and championing the new right on U.S. politics. He also, by the way, you guys, when it was popular, called himself a quote-unquote turbo-feminist during Gamergate, by the way. But says it was all on his followers for assuming he was actually in the country. So he's blaming his followers. The idea that you can't have a say on anything regarding America just because you don't live there is kind of silly. What happens in America happens everywhere else, the loser Ian Miles Chungus told the Post. No, you can have an opinion on what happens in America. We just don't care. Just like, why would any Malaysian care about what I have to say about the Malaysian government? Why would anybody in the UK care about what I have to say about their government? Why would anybody in Australia care what I have to say about their government? You know, and especially because I'm also not lying by omission like Chungus was, where he purposely pretended to be from America. And he lied by omission. I was like, it's like, you were having an affair on me. Well, you never asked me if you were, so it's your fault. On top of that, practically every country in the U.S. has a military base at this point. It's an empire, like it or not, and people are going to have opinions. Chungus became the target of attacks once again. Once it was revealed he was actually in Dubai. See, notice he didn't move to America. You've never set foot in America, and yet you spend every day trying to influence our culture and politics. You talk about our country exclusively and never say a word about your own. If you don't see why that might rub Americans the wrong way, I don't know what to tell you, one prominent American podcaster told him, and probably me. Chungus takes his notes his take is from different to the army of, quote, fan accounts. Oh, he's different. Dedicated to members of the Trump admin, like Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt and Border Czar Tom Homan, which are exposed to be operating out of, you guessed it, India, Macedonia, and Thailand, along accounts from Africa with names like Mega Official and Mega Scope. Such accounts offer little beyond fawning endorsements and praise. Their exposure helps U.S. citizens make better choices as to who to listen to, according to personalities who are stateside. It takes away the mask that shows Americans exactly who's speaking and gives you an opportunity to maybe identify some ulterior motives. Drew Allen, a California-based podcaster, told the Post, social media has leveled a playing field. It allows people to have bigger voices and more influence, effectively work as journalists without theoretically being vetted by a news org. But a foreigner can't understand the body politic of America, our founding, and what we experience day to day in the same way I can or American citizens can, added Allen, who is writing a book about slain activist Charlie Kirk. Chungus told the Post he agrees with many of his critics, saying foreign influence networks such as Russia and Internet Agency and China bot farms are a big problem, but not Malaysian ones. Not the Malaysian scammers, just the Chinese and the Russian. I guarantee you this guy's going to flip back to the left now that he's been rejected by the right. I do think they've been polluting the discourse, and honestly, I 100% agree. I think these people should not be able to influence anything he said. The location exposure on X revealed 2 state-sponsored campaigns which weren't widely known. Scores of accounts pretending to be in the UK and advocating for Scottish independence all turned out to be based in Iran, while Chinese networks were meddling in the Philippines, trying to steer citizens away from the West and closer to China, according to Darren Linville, a media forensics expert at Clemson University. What you're seeing is capitalism at work. It's a system that X built. These influencers are doing exactly what influencers who are actually located in the United States are doing, and for the same reason, Linville said. Well, I disagree. I never started making YouTube videos for money. I never tweeted anything with the express intent of making money. I never engage in lying about who I am, where I'm from, what my beliefs are. And people's like Ian Miles Chungus and all these Indian scammers and Bangladeshis, they did. So it is very different. I suppose then I'd have to call myself an influencer, which I'm not. I don't influence opinions. I amplify them. Now, Bangladesh has somewhat improbably become a hub for Native American grievance politics, with at least half a dozen accounts like Native Nation USA and Support Natives found to be operating in that garbage country. Those accounts have tens of thousands of followers collectively, shared Native American history factoids, memes calling America stolen land, and anti-Trump content, while hawking a $30 anti-colonist t-shirt and $60 beaded curtains. I mean, boy, look at Chungus. He's just so cool, pretending to be American. It's always t-shirts. If we got rid of the t-shirt sales and cryptocurrency on social media, you'd kill half the platform. I don't know. Maybe. Do people actually buy those t-shirts they see on X? I don't. Some accounts claiming to be real Native Americans, of course, became outraged by the revelation, blasting the foreign accounts for exploiting Native trauma for profit. Well, hello. That's what people like Chungus and all these Bangladeshi and Indian scammers do. Linville says the small amount of money that X pays out for users' engagement can go a long ways in countries like Bangladesh or Nigeria, where the GDP per capita is $2,800 and $800 respectively, compared to $85,000 in the US. For Allen, he recognizes the talent it takes to build social. It doesn't take talent. These people just use bot farms. And now they're raging that the jig is up. Sorry, Chungus. Sorry, all these other losers. Writing to the New York Post, begging for us to give you money again, isn't going to happen. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.